Hello everyone, and welcome again to my regular stream. My name is Mark Mandel. I am a developer advocate for Google Cloud Platform. I do stuff specifically for games, and today I'm working on some fun stuff. So, if you don't know me or haven't followed me around, I usually work on a project called Agones. Excuse me. Oh, that's better. Cup of tea helps everything. Today I have a great Gatsby mug. I quite like this mug. It's a nice Penguin Books mug. Drinking an English breakfast. It's lovely. So today I want to do a little fun thing. We have an example. So sorry, let me backtrack. If you're not familiar with Agones, Agones is a project for running game servers on top of another project called Kubernetes. It's basically an open source hosting and scaling solution for dedicated game servers for fast-paced multiplayer games. And we have, what was I going to say? We have an example in here that uses a open source game called Synotic. Actually, why don't I bring that up? Which is a really cool game, actually. If you haven't played it, it's totally open source. It's like a fast-paced arena shooter. It's pretty much probably exactly what you would expect. You know, you can do tournaments or not tournaments, but you can do like, last man standing or last person standing. You can do capture the flag. I think all that kind of stuff. Deathmatch, that's the words I'm looking for. All that kind of stuff. And it works really well in our stuff. Sonic's pretty neat. But I've got this set up now. The way I've got it set up is kind of hacky, and I kind of futz it. So actually, you know what? I'll show you what it is that I'm talking about. So I have Synotic here. Do I have it set up as a server? I do. Let me have a look. How have I got this set up? If I run that, yeah, that's not actually set up locally. So there's a way you actually set it up locally. Actually, I know what I can do. Docker run Synotic. Here we go. So I'm gonna ignore this a little bit, but it runs like runs normally. I've got a Docker image already set up, and we'll get into that in a minute. But that's a whole other thing. And it just runs, right? And it spits a bunch of stuff out and sets up a map. Server listening, blah, 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 right? Which is all good. But Agones comes with I always do this. Let me share my screen. That's better. Yeah, I always do that. I don't know why I do that. Let me run that again. Docker stuff. Where are we? gci.io. Yeah, here we go. Basically, Synotic, there's some tricks to setting it up, which I'm not going to talk about today. I don't think that's really important. But I have a Docker image, and it just runs, and there's a bunch of standard out, and it's all good, right? It opens up a bunch of files, and it starts server listening on this port. Right? Nothing too fancy. It just does that, and that's cool. That's good. But the way I do things, so if I have a look in my Docker file, for setting this up, so we just have Debian, I install a bunch of stuff. I basically download Synotic straight from the website, unzip it. Now, to set Synotic up to be a dedicated game server rather than being the game client, you have to move some stuff around. Basically, there's this server Linux thing, there's a server config, not worrying about that, right? Set that up. But to run it, what I do is I have this run.sh, where I created because Agones has this SDK that's integrated, and I really don't want to like mess around with the Synotic source code, I just kind of hack it. So what I do is I run this SDK, which is this Go file, as a separate binary, and then I run the dedicated game server. And I'll show you the code here. So within this thing, I make a connection to the SDK, and I basically mark it as ready straight away, which is a hack and a lie, right? I fake it, much like many things that happen in the gaming world. It's a lie, so it looks like it works. What I'd much rather do, though, is have this set up so that if we have a look before, like if we see where it says server listening on address, then it's like, yeah, that's. Oh, let me grab that. I wish I wouldn't do that. But when it says server listening on address, that's when it says it's ready. So I was watching a couple of other people, and I'm going to totally mess up their names, Brian Peake, and I've totally forgotten the other fellow who did a presentation for Azure, and they wrote a thing. They were like, yes, we can do, we intercept this. I could actually go look at their code, but I haven't done that, so I'm not going to do that. Because that's boring. So what I want to do is I want to change this Go binary so that rather than running run.sh, we just run this binary thing, and it calls the Sonotic startup and whatchamacallit, and then intercepts the logs so that we know that it's ready when that log message comes through. That's my theory, right? I have no idea how I'm going to do this. So this should be hilarious, I think. We'll see how we go. Let's come back over here. I'm gonna actually start a new branch. We'll call it feature Sonotic wrapper. Let's do that. I do have it. So I do some weird things, so just kind of ignore it. So I've go in here, so that's all there. Cool. CD examples. Sonotic. I think I have a make file in here. Let's have a look. Let's see how I structured this. So I have a make file. Cool. I build the binary. Nice. And then how do I build the image? Do I hand build the image? Build, go binary, build, Docker build. Oh, I see. Oh, I also see. So Passmark is smart. Yes. So I've actually got this totally building outside of any of my other build tools, which is good. So what I do is I Docker run and I compile it using the Golang 1.94 image, which while I'm in here, why don't we update that? Okay, and then that's pretty straightforward. So, all right. Let's make this bigger. Actually, let's create a new tab and go to CD examples, Sonotic. All right, let's do that. We're here. Cool. And so yeah, this is my plan for today. I want to see if we can intercept this standard out and then do stuff with it. That's my idea. Now, first step, let's go into hub. I just want to update that to the latest version of Golang. Here we go. Here we go. 10.0.2. Beautiful. So that's all new and shiny. The other thing we will want to do is, where's my tag? Here we go, image tag. This is 0.1. This will be 0.2 because we want to increment the tag. We don't want to overwrite the old one. So we'll create a whole new image. All right, so that's pretty good. That seems pretty good. I am going to assume this still works. Let's have a look. Build, go, binary. Oh, it's going to download that image, right? So cool, that's going on. Hopefully that doesn't interrupt my stream too much. Let's have a look. That's downloading. Let's just see if this compiles. There we go, download a new image. Beautiful. And I assume that compiled. I assume it did, actually. If I have a look in bin, there's an SDK. Let's have a look. ls bin. Oh, I should say ls-l. Today is May 22nd. Yes. Okay, cool. So that compiled. All right. This is boring. Okay. Next fun trick. All right. So that's a good start. Let's actually commit that. Update go and new Docker image. Sweet. All right. Excellent. Okay, so for my next magic trick, I'm gonna actually just blow this away. Just gonna comment it out. Or what do I want to do? I'm gonna actually convert this into a function. Let's do that. Let's see, will that give me a method? Can I do that? Yes. Do SDK. Hello, let me type stuff. Do SDK. We'll call it that, just for argument's sake. You know what? I don't actually like that. That's a terrible thing to do. I hate that. That's awful. I'm just actually gonna comment this out. You know what? I don't like that either. This is really yucky. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. What do I like? What do I want to do? Maybe I will just comment this out. Oh, it's just really gross, though. What do I feel like? What's a good answer? Yeah, I am going to comment it out. I lied. I'm just going to drop it down here. And we're not going to worry about it. That's fine. Okay. So, I have no idea what I'm doing so far, so this should be fun. So I want to execute a binary that I am going to put in here. So what binary am I executing? Let's have a look. So run.sh. So right now it's called SDK, which is also fun. I don't think I want it to be called SDK. I don't like that either. So let's start there. Let's start with some basic stuff. Build, go binary, SDK. Let's call it a wrapper instead. I think that's a nicer name. Let's do that. And then my Docker file, where do I copy in the wrapper. I do not need run sh anymore, so you can go away. Actually don't do that. Yeah, undo it just because I didn't have that path there. I'll have that for a sec. I don't need that in there. Copy that. chown, chmod. That should just be wrapper. Yep, that's in there. Entry point should be home synodic wrapper. We'll say like, I'm guessing I'm just gonna throw in like an input. Let's say input home. That seems like a nice flag. Okay, let's assume that's what I'm gonna call it. And let's just see if this works. Format.print. Hello, I ran. All right, that's a good start. All right, so if we go big build, and that compiles. A lot of that already exists, so it should be fine. Oh no. Oh no. Is this going to build a lot of this? I think it is. It's going to do a lot of stuff in the background. That's not good. Okay, so I'm going to let that run in the background while we do some research instead, because that's going to take a couple of minutes to download. I thought I had that set up, so that's fine. I'll let that run in the background. So while we're doing that, let's do some research, which is how do I execute stuff from the command line? So let's go into godoc.org and see what we can find in this. I'm gonna want to do this. I'm gonna go through standard packages. Reason being that this is just like, it's just like I just want to keep this to a main.go. I'd like to keep this as simple as possible, so I really don't want to include anything else. Maybe a separate Go file or something like that, but I really don't want to go. Now I feel like there's a thing called exec. I feel like that's a thing. OS exec. Yeah, here we go. I knew that. I thought so. All right, so let's have a look. I made that a bit bigger so people can see what I'm looking at. Okay, package exec runs external commands. Awesome. It wraps OS start process to make it easy to remap standard in and stand out. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. Awesome. Do we have some examples? Run. Let's have a look and see what examples we have. So we have these things called commands. Interesting. Let's scroll back up. Actually, examples. Here we go. Command.run. So okay, command execute sleep. Log.printf. Error. Command run. Command finished. Okay, but we want standard and standard error. Standard error returns a pipe. Right. So that pushes everything out, but I want it constantly. I don't want it, I want it to continuously, basically. Oh, here we go. Here we are. Values. Wait, where are we? Go func. Oh, that's standard in. So I don't know. I don't care about standard in. Standard in is not what I care about. Standard out is what I care about. All right, so let's say we're just looking at standard out. We'll ignore standard error for now. Standard out returns a pipe that will be connected to the commands. Wait, we'll close the pipe after seeing the command exits. Most callers do not need to close the pipe themselves. Let's have a look and see what we have here. So we run in a thing. We get a standard out. Cool. Standard out pipe returns a read closer. And a read closer has a reader and a closer, and a reader has a read of bytes. Interesting. Okay. Kind of surprised it doesn't have a channel. But anyway. Interesting. Command standard out. So we have a start. What do we do with standard out here? We just have a... Oh, we pass it into a... Command.wait. But we don't want to wait. That's not what we want. Interesting. All right. This doesn't quite actually do what I want. Because what I want is just like continuously to be pulling stuff off. Hey, Afraid Duchess. Interesting. Interesting. Has this finished compiling while this is running? Nope, we're still doing stuff. Okay, that's cool. I'll let that run in the background. All right, we might want to... let's have a look in here. So exec looks pretty good. Hold on, I was in here before. This is where I am. In theory, could I... So I have a standard out pipe. I get a read closer. I get a reader, which gives me a way to read bytes. Reads up to length bytes, returns the number of bytes and any error counter. But when does it like flush? I think it's time to Google things. Golang streaming standard out. Yeah, Golang. Here we go. Let's see if somebody's got an example. Here we go. Oh, so we make a buffer. It doesn't equal EOF. All right. You can give the extension to use standard out. The variable we program uses standard out is also an IO writer. Commands. Oh, that's cheeky. Oh, that's really cheeky. That's like way easy, but I need to intercept it. See, I like that will work. So what I see what's happening here is we basically just set the standard out to the standard out. But but we could write our own writer. Oh, this, hold on. Yeah, let me think this through. So we have a command. Let's look at the command, right? So the command, I didn't even think of this. Standard in, standard input. No, I don't want standard in. I want standard out. Right, standard out, standard error to specify. If either is nil, the run connects the corresponding file descriptors. Okay, if either is an OS file, outputs the cool. During execution, if standard out, standard error, same writer, then and have a type that can be compared with equals. At most, one go routine will call write. Oh, ooh, that's fancy. Okay, so what that's telling me is that we can overwrite standard out and standard error. And since we can do that, we can intercept what's going on as well as pushing it out to the OS standard error. This is cool. This is neat. This is neat. This is neat. This is neat. And here we have a writer that takes a write of bytes. Wow, this should be really easy. So interesting question. There is one thing that I want to look at, which is not this package. I want to look at the OS package. OS dot, what is it? OS dot standard out. Nope. Let's go. package OS. Let's do it. There we go. There we go. So variables possibly. Here we go. Standard in and standard out. Perfect. 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 So we have those already. They are a new file, and I think I should be able to write directly to those because those are already writers as well. So that should, just thinking this should, I should be able to flow this through actually quite nicely. So let's see, has this finished? This is finished. All right, cool. So if I run, let's see if my original piece of code works. Docker run Sonic example. It should just say hello, I ran. Perfect. So my build system works. Commit build system works and basic structure. All right, cool. All right. Okay. The other thing I need is I'm passing in a flag, and I've done this before too. Let's do that. All right, cool. Flag parsing. Perfect. 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 Nope, that's fine. This is usually pretty straightforward. Okay, so I need let's just copy that because input flag.string. So we just want to take in the name. We'll just call it I because I'm cheeky and lazy. Empty string. Here we go, and the name of the what is it? It's path to server linux.sh. Perfect. Path to server linux.sh. And there will be that. It doesn't like that. Why not? I've done something stupid. Oh, yep. That's better. Inputs, flags, dot parse. Okay, so I've done this before. So basically we're setting up an input flag. We're just setting up a .i. You'll see in my Docker file, we're just creating a flag. I just called it .i for input. I thought that would make sense. And then you call flags.parse. So if we actually have a look, you'll see behind the flags using the var, and then you go, where are we? Flags.parse, we'll parse it, and then we're good to go. Let's make sure that this worked. Printf. Path to, all right, so we'll do some logging. Starting wrapper for Sonotic. Format.printf. Actually, that should just be print because we're not doing anything. Path to Sonotic server script. S and it should be input. And why are you complaining at me? Why is it complaining? Where are we? Placeholder argument out because it should be. Because the thing that comes back from flag comes back as a pointer, because reasons. All right, let's make build. Make sure that works too. This should happen much faster because everything's already done. Yeah, there we go. I wonder why that takes a while. That's C its own just R. Interesting. That takes a little while. All right, that's interesting. I wonder why that is. Fancy hrn does take a little while sometimes. Actually, what's the work door? That doesn't look right. Entry point. Where are we? Work door, home Sonotic. No, it seems pretty legit. All right. Anyway, let's run this Docker run. And it should hopefully take in that starting value. Okay, we need a /n at the end. All right, but it's getting the right value. All right, so that's a good start. That's a good start. What time is it? Ooh, it's 7:30. Now, what time do I actually need to finish today too? Just make it absolute check. Okay, I do have a meeting after this. All right, but that's fine. There's not a format.writeLine or a print line. There is a print line. Fun. All right, so we can do print line here. There we go. You know, I don't think I've ever used print line before. Huh. Things you learn. Cool. All right, so that's a good start. Okay, so then my next magic trick is building this command. Actually, let's commit that. All right, passing through executable. Commit things, commit often. It's good. Okay, let's have a look. All right, so that's cool. So what I'm going to do is execute it and just pass in standard out and start error. I'm just going to do basically exactly like the exactly like how, what's the word I'm looking for? How that Stack Overflow post did it. So we want to create a command. Here we go. This should be pretty straightforward. All right, let's do that. So command should be command. Nope. No, I think I called the wrong thing. What was it? No, it is command. Command, what's the OS? Exec.command. Boom. And then pointer to input. All right, so command.standard error equals os.standard error. Command.standard out equals os.standard out. I actually thought this was going to be harder, but I think this is actually going to work out pretty well. So that should just spit everything out. And then I believe you just start it and then wait. Would that be correct? Start error, wait error. All right, cool. And I think there's some basic examples. Let's have a look. Here we go, start. Here we go, boom, boom, boom. Start, error, local, command, wait. Yeah, that looks pretty. I'm just going to copy that, actually. That seems like I can just steal that. So why don't we do that? Command, fatal. Okay, waiting for command to finish. Get rid of that. I don't think that's important. With error. Okay, I can work with that. This seems pretty legit. I think that gets us part of the way there. I'm gonna sneeze though. Yeah, of course that happens in the middle of the stream. Okay, so cool. Make build. Let that run. I haven't got this set up so I can do this locally, but build is not that big a deal. It's that ch own that just takes forever. That's cool though, that's fine. That all looks like it's pretty good. I don't know if you can hear that. My friend upstairs has a dog, and I think her parents have left, so she's having a wee cry, which means that my dog will probably bark at some point because my dog just woke up. It's okay. It's just Lucy. All right. Let's run that and see what we got happening. Yes, it's running. All right, that was like super easy. All right, that is good. That is exactly what we wanted. And so we can start. Yeah, that's the line we're looking for. Start over listening on. All right, so let's stop that. I feel like if I send C, that doesn't work. Yep. Docker stop. Give me that one. I think I've got a couple of these. How many of these have I got running? Let's flip this around. Oh no, that's my build script. Okay, that was just wrapping. All right, but that's working. That's sweet. All right, so let's commit that. Standard out, standard error, interception. Okay, so now I want to intercept when this stuff is happening. So I'm going to create a new type, and we're going to call it interceptor. And it's going to do a couple of fun things. I'm just going to write it all in here. I think it's going to be fine. And I'm going to call it forward, and it's going to take a writer. Oops, sorry, struct. It's going to take an IO writer. And I say that because standard error is a new file, file is a new file, file, where are we? Here we go. type file has a write function. Where are we? Is regular, is somewhere in here. It's probably here. Standard, yeah, so where are we? Standard error here takes an IO writer. So basically what I want to do is intercept what's coming through, parse it, and then forward it on to something else. So there's this. Now I need it to implement writer. Now here's an interesting question. I had a feeling this was going to do this. Let's have a look. os.writer. OS. Not OS? IO. Yeah, do that. Oh, that's awesome. IntelliJ does cool stuff. All right, cool. We'll just call it I. Sometimes I lose focus when I do that. Pointer, interceptor. It's beautiful. That's really good. I'm kind of unhappy about this being on top of the main function, but maybe it doesn't matter. Write will intercept the incoming stream and forward the contents to its forward data member. Forward writer. Interesting thing. I haven't thought about how I want to actually do something with that stuff, but I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts on that. But we'll get to that in a minute. Right now, I just want to do the pass through, and then we'll make that work. Okay, so really, my dog has just woken up. I don't know if you can see her head. Yes, you can. She's a cutie. Oh, thank you for that fun one today. Thank you, I appreciate that. All right, cool. We'll see how. I think we can get this done in this hour. All right. So basically, this comes in. This should be just a case of saying i.forward.write. Actually, return. Sorry, p. It should just be that, right? So I'm just forwarding it through. And then we'll intercept it in the middle. So rather than this here, what we actually want is an interceptor. Which is a forward to OS standard error. Pointer, sorry. There we go. And then another interceptor that has a forward to os.standard out. So nothing should actually change implementation-wise, but that should do the job. That should do the job. So let's have a look. How will we know? That should be fine. Let's have a look. Build. And so my thinking is what I want to do while this is building is have has a function that I'm going to be able to pass a function to the interceptor and have that function do some work, basically. That's my theory. And have that function do some work. Basically pass in an optional function that can do some stuff. That's my theory. That is my theory. And then what's going on? Buckshow asks, is that ZSH? That is ZSH. Yes, ZSH running inside tmux. All right. Let's see if this runs. Let's see. It should just be the same. Yep, it's exactly the same. All right, cool. Let's kill that. So interestingly enough, I'm just looking. It actually says server listening on address twice. I wonder why. Isn't that interesting? Interesting. I wonder why that is. But that's a whole other thing. Let's ignore that for now. That could be fun, but let's ignore that for now. All right, that's going on while that's happening. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I am using ZSH. So I'm using like GST is just git status, GA is git add, GC is git commit. So interceptor commented. Cool. And what I think I want to have is something called intercept, which is a func that takes an array of bytes and does nothing. That's really it. Like it doesn't do anything. Yeah, because I'm just thinking like, what happens if any of this fails? I can't think of a good thing. We'll think about that for a minute. So intercept function bytes. That's a good question. If intercept, sorry, I.intercept is not equal nil, can I nil a function? Actually, I don't know. Yep, apparently I can. I.intercept p. That's basically it, right? So I can write now a function that when I want to intercept certain things, then I can do that. So what I could do here is where we standard out, comma, intercept. So I'm going to actually make this over 2 lines. Func p bytes, right? And we'll just actually let's just print stuff out just so we can see that it works. Printf, I found it. Percentage s, and we'll string the bytes that have come through. And we'll want to drop that to the next line. And why don't we make it so it's easy to see? Let's do something like that. Cool. So every time that comes, we should see everything twice, essentially. Let's build it. Do I have T left? Only a little bit. Because the way I look at this, the reason I did it this way is I don't care about standard error too much. Right? And that's the something bad happened, right? I assume everything's coming through standard out. I actually don't know from what I'm looking at here. So I guess we'll find out in a minute. I'm assuming that everything that comes through standard out should be the clear path, like the stable path. And so if that happens, then everything should be fine. Cross fingers, right? If it goes to standard error, then that's it. So I assume that's right. So let's have a look. Let's get rid of that one. There we go. Docker run. All right. All right, sweet. That's perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to see, right? Found it. Server listing on address. Found it. Switching to map fuse. Oh, that's interesting. So we can actually see some stuff is going to standard error, right? Some of this is errors, right? Like, oh, I couldn't find some maps or some stuff. I don't know. Like error response from keygen. But really all oh, no, that's standard error. Okay, so that's stuff there. Interesting. So you can actually see where stuff is going through. So, oh, interesting. So we started, I'm actually just digging into this a little bit just to have a look. So we're executing server.config at this point, which is one of the files we put through. And that tells it what to actually do and get the game type and whatnot. So I'm actually wondering if we want to look for this twice, maybe? Server listening on address. That was sort of what I was thinking is the ready, but maybe execing server config is the one to actually do. Options. Because execing server config comes after the ports are actually open. So, but here we have game type successfully switched to EM. Yeah, I feel like it resets itself. I mean, I could kind of be cheeky and have error response from keygen server not allowed. What's a good thing? I really don't want to be counting these. That feels icky. Really doesn't give me anything great here, does it? wish there was something really clean that I could use for it. It's like, hey, I'm ready now, rather than I feel like what's happening if I'm looking at this really ugly now that I've really messed it up, is that it starts up on a port and then it executes the config that we pass through. And then, oh yeah, so I think this is it. It'll be changed on the next server startup, which is the map command, which then it does that, and then game type /HTM. Map list contains your settings default map list, switching to map views, and then I think it starts again. I actually think it starts again. Interesting question. Is it always... what we could look for is switching to map, I feel like. Does that say that anywhere else? Bear with me for a sec. I have an idea. Yeah, what we could do... This is a bit tricky, but it's fun. We could look for switching to map and then look for server listening on address, which could mean that it's ready. Interesting. All right, let's see if we can do that. Docker stop that one. All right. Okay, so that seems like, or not even switching to map. Actually, I don't like that idea. I like this one. Execing server config. Yeah, that feels better. That feels better. Okay. So, we may not get to integrating the SDK part, but once we're ready, I think we should be good. All right. So we need some states, I feel like, for this. State string. It's nil. That's fine. State tracks state. Duh. And where are we? Let's have some consts. Const. We could. How do we? Yeah, that's fine. I could set a whole const. What are we talking about? State. Where are we? So. Begin. Equals begin. For argument's sake. Actually, we can do that, which is a bit nicer. Begin config. Where are we? Actually, they don't have to be public, so let's do that. Config loaded. I don't know why I'm doing it like, and then markers. Sorry, ports open. Port listening. Call it listening. Actually, listening is better. I can't get away with uppercasing stuff when I'm doing consts and like things like that from just doing static stuff in like Java and other languages. Usually server config restarts the server. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, Bokjo, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking server config restarts it, so I'm gonna have to wait for it essentially, and then just do a little state. Just do a little state thing. I think it actually should work. So, so we'll say state. Whoops, state equals begin. And then we can actually do this. So, we might want to split this into another function, but you know what? We'll get this working, and then we can always clean it up. Oh, what did I just get rid of? Here we go. Oh no, here we go. Okay, so if state equals begin, we'll actually turn it to a string p. Let's just do that. And string equals? Actually, that's gonna be an interesting question. So let's look for it. Let's see if we can mark some of this stuff. I don't know if it's gonna equal it or whether it's gonna look for the thing, but that's all right. We'll format.printf, moving to, what did we call it? Config loaded. And state equals config loaded. Oops, not double equals, what am I doing? Cool, and then else if, and we'll just return out of that because we don't care anymore. We're exiting if state, actually, here we go. So if, and then bear with me one sec. Yeah, if state equals listening, just return. We'll just escape early. We don't care about anything that's coming through. All right. Then let's convert to a string. String equals begin. We're executing. Moving to config loaded. We'll just pass it through because it's useful to see what is actually happening rather than assuming. If state equals config loaded and string, I need a contains. I feel like strings.contains. Yeah, there we go. What's the, how does that look like? String is string, and the substring is server listening on address. Yeah, nice. Then state equals listening, so we can eject. Return, all right. Printf. Moving to listening. That should be 2 S's. Okay. In theory, this might work. Cool. So we got a little tiny state machine basically happening here. Yeah, let's build this thing. We'll see if my theory pans out. How are we doing for time? We might just sneak this in, maybe, or at least we'll get the pretty much, I think, the basics of this going, which has been pretty cool. Which is nice. Okay, that worked. Beautiful. Make sure no one messages me. All right, let's run it. Let's see what happens. Something did not work. Because I do not see anything. All right, so I have a strange feeling that we'll need to trim this. I have a feeling we're going to get line breaks, and it's not going to match. So let's stop this. Let's see if this is my thought. So I feel like I've done this before. I feel like I've done very similar things before. Actually, I feel like I have. Reason being simple UDP server main.go. Here we go. So this is another server that takes in a series of bytes. So I had a trim space. I don't know why I do that. All right, I think, okay, maybe I can just, so I do very similar things. So this is like a UDP packet that comes through. Let's try that. In fact, I might not need to cast this. No, I do. Okay. Let's try that. So that should get rid of the stuff at either end from memory. Trim space returns a slice of the string S with all leading and trailing white space removing. All right, which I think also includes line breaks. Oh, I have a feeling what I do there is actually going to remove the /n. Ooh. Let me come here for a sec. There's an interesting thing here. Okay. I do have an array of bytes. I don't know whether it's full or not, which is an interesting thought. It may not be entirely full, but let's try this first. One step at a time. No, I don't want to do that. No! Docker, stop. I ran the wrong thing. Where are we? Here we go. Get rid of that. while it's doing make build. Do that in the background. That's running. I'm not 100% sure that that's going to get rid of everything, but we will see. I feel like there's probably a line break or something at the end. Oh man, 8 minutes. I want to get this done. We're so close. Shimley Orc, what is Docker? Docker is a nice way of building artifacts that are shareable with binaries and other things inside it. Okay, that did not work either. Oh, yes it did. Yes it did. Yes it did. All right, moving to config loaded. Moving to listening. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so we are intercepting the right events. That is fantastic. Let's get rid of that one. And no, that's not what I want. There we go. Let's stop that. Now we're doing pretty well. So what we're doing here is actually building this Docker image and then running it, and we don't actually have to care about what's inside it. So sweet, that is working. All right, cool. That actually makes me really happy. So where's not that? That's not what I care about. We can actually get rid of that tab. Oh, I know where it is. Okay. So I actually have I'm going to git add minus A, and I'm going to commit this. We are intercepting the events, which is super cool. I need to, what do I need to do? Oh no, I've actually got, I think, let me just have a look. I think I've got a copy of Agones running on here. I do. Awesome. All right, so I think we can actually, will we get this done in time? We'll give this a shot. Yeah, we're running a dedicated game server, and we're gonna host it on a project called Agones. That's a good question. So that's what we're doing here. So I think we're at a point where we can actually put this SDK back in, which I'm pretty excited by. All right, so let's do that. Let's pause it. We'll put in some format.print line connecting to Agones with the SDK. So there's that. That'll run. And then what should happen, moving to, actually we'll leave that there, moving to listening. If this fails, then like it's really bad. So let's actually just kick this off. And I do need this health checking here as well. So I'll strip that out. So once, all right, let's have a look here. So once, connect this with the SDK, we will start the health check. Print line, starting health checking. There we go. That's going to complain because it's no longer new. All right. And do health does the health check pings. So we're going to actually have to build this, put it up in Agones, and then run it and see if this works. And we'll check some logs and we'll see if this works. What time is it? Ooh, 56 minutes. Ooh, it's going to be close. All right, cool. This looks pretty good. Ready? All right. One thing we will need to do here, game server, we want that to be 0.2. All right, cool. In fact, we can change pretty much all of these, but we'll get to that. That's a whole other thing. What do we got to do? Make, not that one. Let's come into, no, not that one. We don't care about that either. Here, make build. So let that build. I have a script for pushing this across to Minikube. Oh, it's gonna be tight. I do have one more meeting I need to run to. We'll see if this works. All right, cool. Make transfer? Yes, actually it's already there. Look at that. All right, let's push that over. This is a little script I have for basically piping Docker images across from external to inside Minikube, which means it's available, which is pretty sweet. I'm going to assume that I don't have anything in here. Oh, I do. I'm going to assume that I probably have a fleet. So let's just get rid of those. Yeah, I did. All right. I'm just going to clear that out because I don't care about any of that right now. I'm just going to do something really simple while this is running. Come on. You can do it. It takes a little bit. It's actually a really big image. All right, those are all terminating. There it goes. That's all going. Good. Go away, go away, go away. So if I look for game servers, there's probably still 2 just sort of floating around. There's 1. Okay. Sweet. They're all gone. Awesome. And so if you're not familiar with Agones or Kubernetes, there's this YAML file. You can do it through APIs as well to create new things. I just updated the wrong one. I don't want that one. I want Synodic. Sorry, my fault. Let's go over here. I just want a game server. I'm not going to do anything fancy. Where are we? Name is Synodic. Beautiful. 0.2. Okay. Whew. Here comes the litmus test. Let's create it. Examples. Oh no, here we go. Game server.yaml. Cross fingers. All right. Gonna make that big. kubectl get. Actually, describe. Let's see if this works. Game server. Oops, sorry. Describe. GS is just the shorthand. Starting. Something did not work. So close. But we only have 1 minute left. Let's have a look real quick. kubectl get pods. All right. kubectl logs. Synodic-c Synodic. Ooh. I did something bad. Oh, I know what it is. Oh, I don't have enough time. So the problem is that where we do health check should be in a go routine because it's just going to for loop forever. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do it. Man. Can we? I don't have time. I don't have time. I wish I had time. This is like super, super, super close. Yeah, I actually really need to go. Man, that's awful. Okay, thank you so much for listening. I need to run, unfortunately. We're very, 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 very close. I might actually just hop on another stream either later today or at a short date so we can get this done, or I might just finish it off. We'll see how we go. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. But I do really, really need to run. I've got a really important meeting and we got really close. But we did a lot of the cool stuff. We intercepted like standard error and standard out, and we did stuff based on it. And it looks like this is going to work really, really, really well. Super happy with how it turned out. Thank you for checking out with me today. I really appreciate you hanging out. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch. That's where I put my impromptu sessions out pretty quick and just say, hey, I'm going to do stuff like now or in about 15 minutes. Otherwise, 9 a.m. Pacific US time is my regular, like right now, is my regular stream. I work on like Go, I work on Agones, this is all open source stuff, so you can follow it all along. Thank you so much for watching. I need to run, but I really appreciate you all hanging out.